Here's the world where a computer can rule out a goal by 10 centimeters and where a referee will actually tell you why out loud in the stadium. VAR has been quietly rewriting the rules of soccer's biggest tournament since 2018. But after Qatar 2022, FIFA looked at everything that went wrong and rebuilt the whole system for 2026. Some of it is genuinely clever, some of it is still a mess. Stick around, because by the end of this you'll understand exactly what's happening every time that referee jogs over to a little screen on the sideline. Let's start with the basics. VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee. It's not one person, it's a small team sitting in a room watching every camera angle live with one job: catch the obvious mistakes. Not every borderline foul. Not every debatable throw-in, just the big four: goals, penalties, red cards, and cases of mistaken identity, like when the ref cards the wrong guy. In theory, that keeps VAR out of the way and lets the game flow. In practice, obvious mistake turns out to be one of the most argued about phrases in sports. Here's where it gets interesting: offside. This used to be the referee's assistant, sprinting along the touchline, eyeballing whether a striker's toe was a fraction ahead of the last defender. Painfully imprecise. So in 2022, FIFA rolled out something called semi-automated offside technology. 12 cameras track every player's body, a sensor inside the ball tracks the exact moment it's kicked, and the system draws the offside line for you. Sounds simple. It isn't, because the system only tells you where a player's body was. It still can't tell you whether that player was actually interfering with play. That part stays human, which means even the most futuristic tech in football still ends with someone in a room making a judgment call. And Qatar exposed exactly how fragile that human layer is. Fans got disallowed goals with barely any explanation. A World Cup final penalty for a ball brushing an arm sparked outrage. And in one especially awkward moment years later, the fancy offside graphic just didn't show up because of a technical outage, leaving millions of people staring at a blank screen and assuming a conspiracy. You know the type of chaos that creates pundits yelling, "Where's the transparency?" Players calling it a dictatorship. FIFA heard all of it. So here's what actually changed for 2026. First, transparency. After a VAR review, the referee now walks to the middle of the pitch and explains the decision over the stadium's speakers out loud to everyone. No more squinting at a big screen trying to guess what just happened. It's a small change, but it kills most of the confusion in real time. Second, the offside system got sharper. The old version only caught players who were more than about 50 centimeters offside. The new one catches gaps as tight as 10 centimeters, using full 3D body scans of every single player at the tournament. That's not a small upgrade. That's the difference between probably fine and actually accurate. Third, VAR's job description got a little bigger. It can now step in on a second yellow card, red card, on trickier cases of mistaken identity, and on a corner kick that was awarded by mistake and led straight to a goal. Still just 4 categories, but more detail packed inside each one. And then there's the wild card. Referees are now wearing body cameras in every single match, so broadcasters can show you the exact view the ref had when he made the call. That's either the most honest thing football has ever done, or the beginning of referees becoming reality TV stars. Possibly both. So here's the real takeaway. VAR was never really about replacing human judgment. It was about giving humans better information and then forcing them to explain themselves. That computer drawing a line by the width of your fingernail isn't the story. The story is that football finally decided fans deserve to know why a decision was made, not just what it was. The technology keeps getting sharper. Whether the sport around it gets any calmer is a completely different question. If you want to actually understand the game instead of just yelling at your TV during it, this channel's the place for that. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.